It's Friday, March 3rd, and time for your Barbados Today morning update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Topping the news at this hour, he has not yet been issued with any official instruments of appointment as Chief Economic Advisor, but former Prime Minister Owen Arthur is already dishing out free economic advice to the government. To start with, the former Finance Minister says he sees the need for urgent debt restructuring, given that 60 cents in every dollar that the government currently spends goes towards debt servicing. During an interview with Barbados Today this week, the former Prime Minister and economist warned that a debt solution was needed post-haste. However, Arthur is seriously recommending that the island takes a totally different route than the one presently being touted by Agriculture Minister Dr. David Estwick.
His approach would be different to mine. I would go the way of a debt exchange. And I think a debt exchange works well, as happened in Jamaica, where a lot of your debt is local debt. And you can get the local debt holders to surrender the existing bond instruments and debt instruments and replace them with a different maturity. So you spread out the repayment over a longer period on the understanding that you get an ease on the interest in the short term, so that you don't have a foreign exchange servicing problem down the way. That would be my solution. But Mr. Eswick, I yield to people who know these things better than they do.
But I'm thinking of it in terms of even the proposal on the table for you to be the Chief Economic Advisor. I'm asking you, were that confirmed tomorrow and the proposal was to come from Dr. Estwick again, what would be your advice?
Well, I am today what it was yesterday. I shall be tomorrow. And there are certain things that I have said that based upon my training that I will put. And I'm not going to just suddenly become somebody else and say something else. There is a need for a debt solution to be part of our overall solution. I would still hold to maintain that position that a debt exchange would be the better way to proceed.
Industry and Commerce Minister Donville Innes says elected and appointed public officers must have a strong sense of patriotism even after they leave office. The outspoken minister made the comments as he delivered the keynote address at the Week of Excellence Symposium yesterday. He said public servants must journey to work for love of the country and not self. It was the closest he came to supporting the former Prime Minister Owen Arthur's decision to accept the Finance Minister's offer to lead the government's economic advisory team. Arthur's move has been seen by some as a betrayal, while others have welcomed his decision to rise above partisan politics in the national interest. And while Innes did not mention Arthur by name, he warned that while elective politics was finite, the will to see Barbados prosper through the ages was not.
Too often, and it's always strange, but too often we worry about getting our politicians in and out of office, and too little time on safeguarding the future of the nation. We politicians will come and go, hopefully I will stay. But the nation Barbados must simply grow. So friends, I'm satisfied that while our resources may be finite, our patriotism and will to succeed as a nation is infinite.
Some residents in Durant's Village Road, St. James, are up in arms over the island's latest recorded shooting, and they are blaming people hanging out at a popular liming spot for the violence. The community was rocked by a shooting yesterday afternoon that left 18-year-old Kemal Haynes of Holders Hill in the same parish nursing several gunshot injuries. Haynes was liming on a bridge in the area with another man when a group of men approached the bridge and opened fire. He sustained 3 gunshot wounds about his body just after 1 p.m. and was in serious but stable condition at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Now, police are appealing to anyone with information on the shooting to contact the Whole Town Police Station at 419-1700 or 419-1701, the Police Emergency Hotline 211, or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477. In sports, Red House Warriors are back as champions of Coleridge and Parry Secondary School's inter-house sports after dethroning Purple House Royals yesterday at the National Stadium. Red House set the pace with a commanding 96 points lead even before sports commenced and increased those points throughout the day to come out on top with 785.5 points, ahead of last year's champions who accumulated 656 to finish second. That left the other houses to battle it out for the remaining positions, and Orange House ran a good race for third place with 625.5 points. Blue secured 544 points. That got them in fourth position. Green House tallied 502 points for fifth, and Yellow House totaled 492 for sixth position. Now, there were 5 records in total broken this year. Shanice Hudson led the way with 2 in the discus and shot put.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Read all about it, read all about it. Get your paper. Only $2.25. Let's get your paper.
You again with that stale news from yesterday. I got the Barbados today on my phone, and I just get my news for free.
What do she?
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
We pick up with news from our regional neighbors. Bahamian Prime Minister Perry Christie issues an apology for an inappropriate gesture made during a speech this week. The Prime Minister reportedly raised his middle finger when responding to allegations made against him. Addressing Parliament this week, Mr. Christie sought to explain what led him to express himself in that manner.
I stand to express my regret to indicate specifically that it related to specific attacks by specific individuals.
Expressing his profound regret in a somber tone, Prime Minister the Right Honourable Perry Christie told parliamentarians Wednesday if he could relive that moment where he flashed his middle finger at a joint constituency meeting in the Fox Hill community on Monday night, he would not have done it.
I would hope that those who may have been offended by it, who were present, would accept that that is a matter that I would not have wished that I did. And to those who are people in our country who would wish to understand what I did, would accept my deepest expressions of regret.
The nation's leader was responding to allegations made that he owns a condominium property obtained through political impropriety. But he said young people might seem emboldened by his actions, and he does not want them to believe that it was the right thing for anyone to do.
On the international front, U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has bowed to pressure. The AG recused himself from an FBI inquiry into allegations that Russia had meddled in the U.S. election. The country's top prosecutor is adamant that he did not lie when he testified at a hearing back in January that he did not communicate with the Russians. However, Democrats have been demanding that he step down.
I have now decided to recuse myself from any existing or future investigations of any matter relating in any way to the campaigns for President of the United States. I went on to say this announcement should not be interpreted as confirmation of the existence of any investigation or suggestive of the scope of any such investigation, because we in the Department of Justice resist confirming or denying the very existence of investigation. So, in the end, I have followed the right procedure, just as I promised the committee I would, just as I believe any good Attorney General should do. And a proper decision, I believe, has been reached.
And that's news and sports. But there's more on our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals and screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and to Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good morning.